Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to HGC China. My name is Kala and I'm joined by Tetcher. We are deep in a series between BTG and TheOne. TheOne being up 2-0. This is BTG's last chance at finding their way back into this series.
This could be the reverse sweep we were looking for from SPT yesterday. That's what they have to pull off now. And BTG, they've shown they have the potential to win. They looked great in the two games yesterday, moving up from seed 5, I think, all the way up to a minimum seed 3. But now we're heading, Mr. Kala, to the Braxis holdout.
Oh boy. Are we in for something spicy here? Are we in for something crazy?
I think this might just end up being a standard game. I mean, Braxis already is a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But let us find out as we load into the map. So, this is a TheOne map choice. They might be looking for something spicy, seeing as they do have only to win one. So if they will go to cheese, now would certainly be the time.
Yeah, might as well just secure that victory for yourselves. But BTG, right out of the gates, banning that Genji. Genji is super good on this map because he's able to rotate from the bottom lane to top lane to threaten that solo lane very quickly with the cyber agility over the wall, can swift strike onto the beacon as well for fast capture, similar to how Muradin works on this map. So I like that ban so far on the Genji. What's the response? Do you get rid of the Stukov?
Maybe. The BTG have been using it pretty consistently, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see something like the Stukov coming out here as a ban in general. Otherwise, I mean, the problem with the whole problem of banning a support on this map is you now have less supports, because your opponent's just going to pick the other one, aka Malfurion or Stukov, and then you are limited. It's not so bad on this map because the supports that are manaless, the resourceless supports, gain huge value on this map compared to other maps, so you can get away with it.
Absolutely agree. Might not see that one, and Alarak is actually the hero of choice. So again, the respectful bans. A Garrosh was what we've seen banned traditionally so far, but Garrosh now the first pick for BTG. First time seeing him this evening. Lots of potential there in that 4-person lane. And then the response pickups, the Stukov and Junkrat. I personally really like Junkrat on this map.
Yeah, his siege potential is fantastic. Stukov as well, both of them together, you have some of the best zoning potential in the entire game. But one of the biggest factors here is the fact that Junkrat can solo lane. That is huge because of his AoE. He is able to solo lane, and that means you can have a super scary gank and engage heavy bot lane, or at least rotate who your bot laner is to make your opponents a little bit more nervous and throw off their solo lane.
Very true. I have this weird tingling. I sense a Phoenix coming into this draft at some point today. Sorry, sometime in this game in particular.
Yeah, we haven't banned at all yet, have we?
No. Maiev also not very well prioritized. Medivh is still up as well, so lots of power picks open for BTG. Hanzo here. Hanzo a very good hero on this map. Malthael chosen as the solo laner, and Hanzo locked in as that bottom lane ranged assassin.
Loving the Malthael. It's a good steal here due to the fact that TheOne used it to such great effect last game. We know it's one of Hugo's go-to, I'm going to just win picks. That Illidan, a little bit of Thrall apparently. Thrall's pretty good. But those two heroes especially are absolutely terrifying, so a good steal away here.
I love it. Malthael has seen a lot of power so far in these games that we have seen him. The last rites, basically also because BTG don't want to go against the Malthael, because when you have the Garrosh, that's one of the best responses is Last Rites Malthael. So picking it up here means that they don't have to worry about spending a ban on it and instead can ban something else. So I think that's a fantastic pickup for themselves. TheOne, now they have to ban. It could be a support target, seeing as how they've already locked in theirs. Like it could be a Malfurion, and there we go. There's the Malfurion banned off. I like that ban personally, because now it's going to force BTG onto something a little bit less standard in this meta.
That is true. But once again, we've already mentioned, if there's any map you're going to be forced off of those two main supports, it's going to be this one. You're still going to have a pretty reasonable time with whatever you end up picking here. So, what do we see as the ban for BTG, though? What is the focus?
Sonya? Could it be? Because then you force that odd off-lane matchup, or it could just be, for looking at
my theory is they're just going to put Junkrat in the solo lane and just ignore just pick another melee for the group up, because no matter what their solo laner is here, it's probably going to lose to Malthael. Like, maybe you can get away with a Falstad, maybe you can get away with even a Ragnaros if you focus on the Meteor and just micro pretty well, but Ragnaros is pretty efficient on this map, actually, so that one wouldn't be the worst. Thrall, as well, as they are hovering here, could be decent. You want someone who can poke Malthael here. The Falstad is the one that they do end up banning out here, but the Sonya loses in the matchup versus Malthael unless Malthael micros inefficiently and eats a spear.
I like the Falstad ban. You know, I'm still not 100% used to Falstad being, you know, more powerful in the current meta, so that's not really one I often think about. But, you know, seeing the ones play on Falstad last game, I absolutely think this is a well-warranted ban for BTG. But now they have 2 more picks. You're thinking that perhaps the Junkrat is the solo laner.
Possibly.
But, you know, they could also go with a different solo. Thrall is up. Thrall also works very well into the 4-man here, that Crash Lightning style. And Warrior does need to be picked up. Could be Diablo. There's the Thrall.
There it is. This is why I was saying, like, if they wanted a dedicated solo laner, I would prefer Rag. If they want someone who they can choose who their solo laner is, then Thrall is good, because now they can choose which one they send up. Thrall with Echo of the Elements, or Junkrat and bring Thrall to the 4-man with Crash Lightning.
All I know is the support for BTG needs to be cautious no matter what, because every support I can think of shy of perhaps Karazim is fairly immobile, and if you get Storm Bolted and you get hit by the, Tychus and Alexstrasza. Yeah. Oh man, I love this combination because of Odin and Dragon Queen both at the same time. You can never fight into that. I like the fact that Alexstrasza was the pickup over any of the other supports.
I kind of dig it. It's almost resourceless. It's not as efficient as, say, a Lucio or a Morales, but it's still going to be much better in terms of healing numbers and, like you said, area control. So I'm digging it. My
biggest concern is the Alexstrasza. You know, playing against the poke pressure of Junkrat and Thrall can have some difficulties. So if she's ending up getting hit by that, by the damage, also getting hit by the concussive mine, she's got to be very cautious of that one. But now, the one you need, what do they need here? They need it just depends on where this Thrall is going. It could be either another damage dealer or it could be an offlaner. It really just depends on what they want to do with the Thrall or Junkrat.
One way to find out. Time ticks down. A Chromie.
Perfect.
Cool. This is the pretty good map for her. You can punish the abundances from Alexstrasza. I'm digging it. Yep. I really like this as a final pick.
I also really like the Chromie against Garrosh because her damage registers at a snapshot of when his armor point is, and her damage is very high. So, you know, Garrosh works very well when there's like consistent consistent damage, like against him, right? Burst damage is what really hurts Garrosh. So I love Chromie, both A, on this map in general. She's so oppressive, and B, just against the Garrosh matchup. I think this is going to be a really good one. And you mentioned it yourself, the abundance. Everyone on the side of BTG have to group up in order to get that healing. You're grouping up. Are you getting Crash Lightning at that point? Are you getting, or sorry, the Crash Lightning, he's going to be in the off lane, but are you getting a Concussive Mind? Yeah, at that point, are you getting hit by the Chromie? So lots of synergies on the side of the ones draft. I actually really like their draft.
Yeah, it could be a Crash Lightning Thrall if they decide to put Junkrat in the solo lane, and either way, Concussive Mind still good for displacing everyone out of the abundance, so you don't even get the healing. This is interesting. I really like it, and I really lean towards the draft of the one in this game.
Yeah, I am with you. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Can BTG hold on? We got 619 on that Garrosh. We got LLK on Tychus, Druid playing the Alexstrasza, dancing on Hanzo, and Lai finishing off the draft with Malthael.
And on the right, one game away from going to mid-season brawl, Hugo on Thrall, Lucky on Junkrat, Meng on Chromie, ZJZ on Stukov, Hehe on the Muradin, and they are going to be the one. And we are in fact going to see Thrall in the solo lane. Echo of the Elements picked up.
I think it does make the most amount of sense here. You know, you've got the stacking Junkrat. You want that control with Junkrat and Chromie down bottom. I actually do think that this is the best way for the one to organize their lanes, but we're already seeing a little bit of a mix-up here. Thrall against in the 1v4 scenario, but the Sonic Arrow is going to scout it out. So BTG know that the 4 members of the one are topside. Well, at least that's their assumption at this point.
Junkrat actually showing via grenades. I think he's trying to bait the fact that he is going to be the solo laner, even though we can already see Echo of the Elements has been picked, but is now going to rotate up to top lane. Alex Straza currently just holding the XP bot lane while they wait for the Malthael to rotate down to the bottom lane. Very interesting rotational styles by both teams at the moment. Finally, though, we're going to start to see this 4-1 split beginning to come into effect.
Stormbolt missed off the time trap there, so he not getting the timing quite right at that point, but now members of BTG invading onto the right-hand side of this map, trying to take control over this 4-man. Chromie needs to start landing those sandblasts in order to, you know, start establishing some dominance up top here, getting those stacks for herself.
Yeah, and this is good that they managed to force everyone into the 4-man against a Chromie. That's fantastic for them. Whoa, BTG, this mine scouts them, but the camp would not have been taken by the time they arrived, so they could have maybe raided it, but because of that mine there, they did not want to take the risk. Nice dodge by Dancing there. Yeah,
showing his namesake there, dancing out of the damage abilities of Chromie. He jumping over the wall, landing that Stormbolt. Hugo is here too, so Lai's got to be cautious. There goes the Feral Spirit, some damage following through, and Hugo chunking out Lai quite well.
Neither of these teams choosing to follow your silly concept. Nice mine there over the wall. Neither of these teams wanting to follow the your plebeian concepts of lanes and decided to just go full rotation as we see Tychus taken out here. Then 619 just short of getting ZJZ over the wall. No unrivaled strength this time, so just wasn't able to get the range.
Exactly. What is a lane setup? We do not know. These camps being picked up, the one with this different style of gameplay so far. Perhaps now, with this top camp going to be pushing in, will they 4-person top? We will find out. Both of these teams picking up their siege camps here.
Oh, God. I love little plays like that. You know the time trap's there. You bait Chromie into using her own abilities and then use her time trap to block the damage. Nice little play by 619 there. And as such, his team are able to take control of this top shot. Only 4% has been taken. That's how much rotating these teams have been doing.
Yeah. But now, he showing on bottom again. Lai getting the Wraith Strike to safety. The Feral Spirit to follow up. There is the Stormbolt, and a lot of trouble is this Malthael. The follow-up damage, but the cheeky escape. And Malthael, again, getting away to safety. We've seen a lot of, you know, interesting escapes by Malthaels so far over the past 2 days.
Yes, we have. We've had some fantastic dodges so far as Hugo forced back into lane, waiting for his globe to die so that he can reclaim that for himself, get a little bit of regen up. And still, neither of the teams able to gain an advantage. He gonna try and sneak onto bot lane. Already getting it up to neutral and will actually begin to tick up for his team as Junkrat holds the top lane. Hugo moving in as well. See, he's taking a lot of damage. Lovely route by Hugo. They weren't going for the full commitment there. That was simply to buy some time. And as such, they were able to earn 28%.
Exactly. Just keeping that in their favor. Over 50% will increase the bar of percentage towards that Zerg wave for their team. So, you know, close to that 30% is exactly what they wanted off of that little bit of a trade. Now, meanwhile, top, Meng, ZJZ just trying to clear this wave, trying to get a little bit of structural damage for their team. But the rotation, oh, Hugo almost got caught out there.
Yeah.
It's got to be careful.
The doggo, but he stays alive, still clearing the lane. Junkrat continues to siege onto the point until he can see no one there. And then we'll prepare to move forward. Like a concussion mine will be dropped. There it is. This will allow him not only to escape, but also to zone out the enemy. And Echo of the Elements already complete.
This is a really annoying draft that TheOne has. Like, I'm trying to figure out how BTG properly play against this, but everything, it just looks like they're having to respond to absolutely everything, and it is actually quite difficult for them. And look at Murden's deep anchor, but Lucky gets found by 619. The concussive mine to find himself over the wall, but it is not enough, and a kill going over to BTG. But is the trade kill here on LLK? The Stormbolt lands, and goodbye. So 1 for 1 here in this exchange.
1 for 1 indeed, but here comes BTG, bringing everyone except Malthael up to this top area. Garrosh just lobs Hehe off the point. Time trap though, and the Stukov silence. So much damage onto Garrosh. Hehe just tanking it, however, dancing from outside the range of the silence. It's just pinging arrows into Hehe consistently. This will force him to back up.
Yeah, but bottom was taken under control by Thrall, so 54% is now the control for TheOne at this point, so they're on their way to the first 100% Zerg wave for themselves, and TheOne now just trying to take back control over top because members of BTG are represented bottom side.
He gets interrupted on his Dwarf Toss, but here comes the Dragon Queen. Disengage is gonna happen. It's still a numbers advantage, though. Oh, Thrall killed off in the bot lane. It's no longer going to be a numbers advantage for long, as we see Tigers immediately rotating up. Double capture in favor of BTG. Let's see if they can overtake the one.
Yeah. Lucky stepping up onto this point, capturing it for themselves, so 30% for the side of BTG, but LLK in a lot of trouble. The Stormbolt does land off of the Dwarf Toss, and he's caught quite out at this point, but Lai here to try to save him. I think LLK is just dead fish in the water here.
LLK's in trouble, Lai's in trouble, because Chromie actually pinged where she thought LLK was going to go, and ended up hitting Lai with the Dragon Breath here. Lai is now in serious trouble, but Meng also getting focused down. Hugo, sorry, as Lai won't get dropped here by He can't drop enough damage here. The Mercenary can't get involved. Junkrat with the disruption, though. This is just a messy fight. As 619 getting chased down, he will finally drop here. And that is a 2-for-1, 3-for-1 actually, because Tigers died earlier in the fight in favor of the one.
Yeah, the one need to make sure that they position bottom side so that BTG don't just immediately get onto the bottom point. 2 dead for BTG, so this could be a huge play for the one if they're able to capture both of these. But Lai and Druid positioning up aggressively bottom, chunking out the Malthael doing a lot of damage if left auto-attacking and using that soul rip onto those warriors. But now here comes the members of the one taking control over bottom. Tyke is in a lot of trouble as well.
Talent's value, of course. Chromie continuing just to ping LLK. Nice dash there. And the Zerg wave doesn't even tick up. They didn't get a single percentage there, even though they had such a big advantage.
Yeah, BTG actually rotated super well during their 2 deaths. They're rotating around the bottom left-hand side, taking control over bottom. And here comes the invade now. No mana, no health, almost goes down. The Hugo actually steps up too far and ends up going down. Meng trying to take out Dancing, but he's doing well, avoiding all of this damage coming in through the Chromie. And now ZJZ gets taken out by the Tychus, so BTG with the rotations. And they get the 100% Zerg wave.
That throw from 619, even around the Mercenaries, able to grab Thrall and put him out of position is so good. Dancing taking what would have been a very strange route. Finally decides to rejoin his team at the safe side. But first, Zerg wave. Definitely in favor of BTG, and they are joining it for the push. Malthael cleaning up in top lane as level 10 is hit. Dragon Arrow coming in. Last rites, the Cleansing Flame, no life binder. We have had one in HGC China. Dragon Arrow already used here. There's the Groundbreaker, and see ya, Junkrat. Easy kill by 619. He does actually stand in the total mayhem, though, so takes a bit of damage.
BTG playing out of their minds here. Here comes the Odin looking to siege up, and honestly, the one don't have a lot of anti-siege damage right now with that Junkrat down. So members of BTG pushing up with their heroics, with their level 11 here, and trying to get as much structural damage as possible. They have their eyes set on some of this keep, and they might even be able to get the entire thing.
The attempt of the slowing sand plus the silence for the zoning potential was a good idea, but Thrall is having to rotate down. Level 10 is just about to hit. This is the plan of the one. Grab level 10 and then kill everything. Here they come. Cleansing Flame onto Dancing, keeping him alive here as he drops the Avatar to stay alive. Riptide onto Dancing as well as he's pulled back. Nice toss by the 619 as he gets the double taunt looking for Hugo, but the flaming swipe keeps him alive. Lie in the backline though, kills off Hugo as he moves forward for more. The keep's already down. 5 versus 4 as they move on for the core. But are they going to give up? They've already used Dragon Queen. They've already used Odin. They're out of tools here, and BTG will back off.
What a display in the past minute or so of this game by BTG, out-rotating their opponents, out-picking their opponents. Perfect invasions. They get the objective. They get the keep. They get the kills. BTG on fire. Immediate rotation top, clearing out this wave with the cleave from Malthael. Have their eyes set on this top wall. They just want to continue to take as many structures as possible. Level 13s just on the horizon here for BTG. So huge advance for their team.
Dragon Breath value, lots of little bits of extra damage there. Thrall once again left in the bot lane, cleaning up the lane. There's going to be catapults in it now, which is obviously slightly inconvenient, as we see the one cleaning out mercenary camps, just trying to give themselves any kind of comeback potential, as they are 2 levels behind now.
It's going to be tough. You know, you got this Chromie, you've got Junkrat and Thrall. It's going to be tough really just establishing dominance on this map against the style of comp that BTG has, and they're just so far ahead at this point. You know, you just mentioned yourself, Thrall down bottom side, clearing out this catapult, and he's going to have to do that quite frequently, because that is going to be mounting pressure for the rest of the game. BTG likely just going to, prioritize putting all of their heroes, or most of their heroes, topside, just to, try to choke out their opponents at this point. Here comes the arrow.
Dragon Arrow is good. It actually pops the time trap here, so Muradin has nowhere to go. Last right is enough to kill through the Avatar. And that's another kill picked up by BTG. They move on with their Merc camp, and that top fort's almost certainly going to die.
BTG in the first 2 games not looking like their normal selves, but this is the BTG that we saw yesterday, just coming in full force in this game number 3 when it means the most for them. And man, are we ever seeing the surgical precision of their execution, their team comp. Yeah, the arrow comes in. We've got the Garrosh immediately right there. We saw it on bottom side when they get the pick onto Junkrat, which results in them getting their first keep of the game. We just saw it right there on getting the kill onto Muradin. So excellent job by BTG for just playing their team comp the way that they have to in order to snowball themselves in this game.
Beyond the game, living up to their namesake, moving past the first 2 games. They've moved beyond them and are now dominating this next one, taking the boss now right before the beacon spawn, forcing a reaction out of the one to defend that boss or defend the beacons, either take pressure onto that top keep or potentially lose the game. Dragon Arrow onto Muradin. Is last rights off cooldown yet? No, it isn't, and he gets healed up by ZJZ.
Dragon Arrow down, it's not the biggest thing, but still, it's definitely something that's going through the comms of the one right now. Stormbolt going out just to scout members of 619, but bottom camp pushing in with catapults. Top is the boss push, so BTG just going to play the time game, no pun intended, just waiting for the members of the one to walk away here. Likely they will just sit on top and look for this next control point. So they're going to grab it. They're going to get this 100-0 Zerg wave in their favor, and level 13's on the horizon for the one. Can they find it to mount this very difficult defensive top lane?
Meng just ate a huge amount of damage from the boss here. Now Hugo is in trouble. He's backed up. Junkrat has saved the core. There were catapults and mercenaries on it. He has cleaned that up. But now this boss, only down to half health so far, and the Odin being dropped. Meng is in danger. Hugo's in huge danger. Good sundering for the counter, though. Last rise on Hugo. Not enough. Riptire from downtown. 619 taken out. Dancing is now dropped low as he is tanking through the cleansing flame. Not enough for the healing. Moving on to the Odin. The Dragon Breath doesn't land. Dragon Arrow does. Hugo get killed in the counter. Nice move there by BTG as they push forward. Boss finally down. Keep still under siege.
The one willing to fight, even though they have the numbers advantage, into this Dragon Queen, and they end up losing the one for... They trade the 1-for-1 when they had the kill advantage, but now this is a 4v4, ladies and gentlemen. Huge Zerg wave coming in, 16 talents here for BTG. Can they hang on to this game? Can the one defend their core?
They've used Riptide. That's a huge wave clear tool. Hugo is back, though. He has a much shorter distance to run than Garrosh does as they kill the Hanzo. Looking for LLK, but LLK is forced to back up. The slowing sands hold back the Guardians, and that's exactly what the one needed. The one saved themselves this game thanks to the joy of respawn timers and shorter distances to run.
Very true. BTG setting up in this rotation. Maybe they find Hugo 619 sharking out here. Here comes Hugo face checking. There's the wrecking ball. There's the ground breaker. And goodbye Thrall. But the one
fight this?
They're pushing in down a talent here. This is very scary.
It's a 4v4 technically. Here comes the Riptire. He tanking through it. Where's the last rise? He leaps away. Oh, it gets killed off. LLK absolutely saving the life of his ally there as he is dropped low as well. Even in this 4v4, 16 versus 14, the one still able to survive.
Meng has the stacks, tossing those sandblasts, doing a lot of damage at this point, but Lucky forced to go to bottom lane to clear out these catapults. We mentioned that mounting pressure constantly. 619 walking into this bush, gets storm bolted, but he doesn't want anything to do with that trade. At this point, the one, they're comfortable just looking for the level 16. You know, they found their way back into this game, even in just a small amount, but down 2 keeps here is so difficult on this map. It's going to be so hard for them to come back.
This is not a Battlefield of Eternity where you can actually protect your base pretty well as long as you can protect your immortal as well. This is, you have multiple angles, there's a boss, there's so many different things that could potentially end the game here, and you have to pay attention to all of them. Bush Meta, I'm pretty sure he might have seen at least one person there. Now 619 is showing. Here is the question of how much Meng is able to scout. That will have certainly seen Lai there, that Sandblast.
Yeah. And there goes the Sonic Arrow by dancing, just getting some vision, finding out where the Chromie is. But Meng just immediately walking away from that one. Doesn't want anything to do with perhaps a Garrosh coming and busting down this wall and throwing her into the opponents here. So Meng playing pretty safe. Junkrat now top clearing.
Right now.
Uh-oh.
How did they not rumble him there? Makes it to his base. He stood there way too long, but he gets out, so well done.
So 16s are very close here for TheOne, but this is a very difficult position to be in. TheOne, they need to find this boss fight. Here comes Hehe. He's looking for scouting out, but does 619 just throw him in and get the taunt and the one shot? Hehe knows that that's where 619 is. Excellent job by Hehe.
He wants to leap. He wants to leap.
Yep, he has to.
He's going to try it. Is he going to try it? He needs to go now. He needs to go now if he's going to go at all. It's too late. Hehe, boss is taken. Now 619, he knows Hehe is there. This is a disastrous positioning
16.
for the Muradin. In trouble, getting closed in on. There's the toss, there's the taunt, and there's the Avatar, but Last Rites gets the kill. Now the focus on 12. Okay, Dragon Blade hits the Dragon Arrow, hits the backline. Hugo is down, and this fight is a disaster. One counter kill though, and the health bars of the last remaining members of TheOne are pretty good. They pick up 2 kills here, but unfortunately, there's Merc Camps, there's a boss, and their core is about to be under siege. They have to retreat, which means they lose the Zerg wave.
I don't think that there is a... This isn't a possible defense, is it? Members of BTG, actually, they don't decide to push in.
The boss, I think.
They can, yeah. BTG, okay, now deciding to push in. LOK
Okay,
throwing out the grenade.
Junkrat actually just moved the catapults in range of his core with that concussion bind. That's a disastrous misplay here. Hehe has returned. The boss is shredding through the core here. The damage output will keep the core alive, but now there's going to be 100% Zerg wave pushing in against their core as well. Still catapult pressure in the bot lane. Still catapult pressure in the top lane. TheOne, their backs are against the wall, and the wall is covered in spikes.
But they're holding on. I didn't think that there was a single scenario in the world where TheOne hold on to that one. I thought BTG were just going to push up and just all in on the core, which very well could have been a possibility for themselves, but they're playing this one safer because now TheOne have to deal with a 50% health core, a full Zerg wave coming in hot. You got Junkrat, you've got Thrall, you got Chromie. Here comes the dragon. Can TheOne hold on?
Dragon Arrow comes in, gets 3 members. Dragon Queen pushing Hehe away. Last Rites kills off Stukov. No support available now as the target onto Hugo, but he's alive. Then good Riptire just shreds the Dragon Queen here as Alex Straza falls back. Hehe is in serious trouble. Lucky pushes himself away from the damage dealer, but with Muradin down, Lucky going down, the core going down, Meng the last survivor for his team. But all he can do is tell the story of how BTG took down TheOne's core.